I read the comments. I got you. Don't worry. I got you. If you read the description, you would have seen that that is one of 3 Wither skeleton farms. Now, I was going to wait to release this one, but apparently you guys are having a hard time with the other one, or you don't like it, or it wasn't the one you want. So, yeah, we'll show you the second one now. This farm here is heavily influenced by Nembo as well as Ilmango. You guys know who they are. What you're going to need to do is find yourself another crossroad here. Make sure it has at least, a decent area below it, so that way you don't have to either dig into the ground or remove any lava. You want to make sure it is at least 10, 20, 30, 40 blocks, or it has 40 blocks below it, so that way you leave room for the 3 platforms that we are going to build, plus the catch and kill chamber, as well as the funneling system, and then the AFK section down there. Alright, the way we are going to build this, like I said, we are using flying machines, is if I were you, I would find yourself a crossroads, walk your way out, so that way you can build the 3 or 2 or 1 platform, it doesn't matter, it's up to you, first, and then go down or dig your way down using one of the pillars there, so you can get to the bottom and then build your, killing chamber or AFK section, and then work your way up, or do that vice versa. Do your killing chamber and your chute and funneling system first, and then do your platforms after. It is completely up to you, but for us, we're going to do platforms first, and then killing chamber and work our way up. I'm going to pause this here. I have all of the materials again separated into 3 separate things. So in this first shulker box, this is what you're going to need per platform. Okay, so we're doing 3 platforms. So if you're going to do 2 platforms, double this up. If you're going to do 3 platforms, triple this up. All right, this includes the, the platform itself, the leaf wall, the walls, and the flying machine. Okay. The second platform here is for the collection and kill chamber, where we kill all of the, pigmen and everything else that spawn in this farm. There is not going to be any wither roses on any platforms up here, so that way we can, amend those comments for the people that are saying that the other farm won't work, even though it still will if you would just read the description. But this is what you need for the killing chamber. These do not have to be translucent blocks or glass. They can be solid blocks if you want, okay? And then for the AFK section, as well as the chute and collection little chamber, these are the items that you need here for it. Again, these do not have to be glass unless you do want to see the wither skeletons falling. Okay, the wither roses that you do need, if you need a wither rose farm, I suggest checking out either Ray's Works video or going to my wither boss video, because in that video we talk a little bit about how you can get your wither roses by just filling up the area below it with chickens and then doing one wither boss glitch thing, and then you'll have enough wither roses in order to do whatever you need, or like I said, build Ray's Works design. Okay, now before we get into the build, okay, we're just going to do a quick little layout here. So what we're going to have is our 3 platforms, 5 blocks below the lowest platform. What we're going to do is we're going to have a collection system that collects all of the mobs from the sweeper into one area. That is where our wither roses will be, so no mobs can spawn in there, which is good, and those wither roses will kill off all the other mobs that spawn on the platforms. There will be dogs on lift level, which are going to scare the wither skeletons down a central chute 3 blocks down to another little collection area, which is going to have another dog. This is for AFK, which is going to have another dog, which will scare them down an individual single shaft down to the AFK area down below. Now, if you don't want to do the AFK area, you can skip that part of the video and just do a big chute. Make sure your lava is only 21 blocks above the ground, okay, or above the lowest block that they land on. So that way when they come down, it'll be a 21 block drop. They'll land down here and you'll be able to, hit them just one shot with your looting 3 sword, and it'll be over and done with. So that is the layout here. Now we're going to get into the build, starting with the platforms. Now these are going to be a 22 by 20 platform, and on the long side, the 22 side, we're going to have a 2 wide gap in the center. So the easiest way to do this is just offset from the center, dig out 2 holes, so dig out the center one and then one of them offset from it. It doesn't matter which way you do it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go 10 blocks this way, so off the long side, so 1, 2, 10 blocks off of this side as well. Once you have your 3 platforms done, and they are 22 by 20 long, what you're going to do is just start to remove all of the nonsense that you do not need. So get rid of all of this nether brick and everything. Once you have everything removed and you have either 1, 2, or 3 clean platforms like this, what you're going to do is on the long side, so on the 22 side, we're just going to mark the center of this farm somewhere. So on the 22 long side, what you want to do is find the 2 center blocks, so that'll be the 11th and the 12th block, and just come down and then mark them somewhere towards the center here. So that should be 10 spare blocks on this side and 10 spare blocks on that side. And on the other side, from the center, it should be 9 spare blocks this way, and then 10 spare blocks that way. What you're going to do is you're going to come in line with that, with your marking block, and you're going to place down a piece of obsidian with another one next to it on an angle. You're going to place your repeater on this lowest piece of obsidian and set it to 4. Your redstone torch underneath it, and then your lever on the back to deactivate everything. Either activate it or deactivate. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to come around to the front and you're going to place an observer with its face facing out towards the farm like that. Then off of the face of the observer, you're going to go sticky piston, slime block with an observer facing outwards. Okay. Then off the slime block, you're going to go sticky piston, slime block, and then aiming into that repeater, you are going to put an observer. This is what everything should look like when it is done. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to come to the other side. We're going to be in line with that observer, and we're going to go obsidian with another one next to it and up. Repeater set to 4 ticks with your redstone torch, and then your lever to turn everything all off. Once you've done that, you can come back to the front side here and then place your observer face with its face going outwards. And now if we go back to this one here and we just flip the switch, everything should head back down towards that direction. And because this is on, when it gets back here, yep, it stops at the end. If we just want to turn it back on again, all we have to do is flip the switch, and if we want to turn it off, we just have to light it back up again. Once you've confirmed that it's working and flying, what you're going to do is add 8 more slime blocks to this with a piece of glass on the end. Once your flying machine is complete, this is what everything should look like here. Okay, you can just test it again to ensure that it does function. And as you can see, it works like a charm. Now you're just going to repeat that build process for whatever layers you have, and then we can move on to the next step. And just to confirm, okay, both these sides are identical builds. They're just opposite from each other. So as you can see, that repeater is over that observer, and if we go over to the other side, it's just the same thing. So it's just the same thing, repeated on either side, and then you can put your flying machine in place. Make sure these are set to 4 ticks, and you have a lever on them as well too, with your observers facing outwards. Alright, and once you have all of your flying machines in place, what you are going to do is basically starting from this row here, you're going to surround everything on these 2 rows with your leaf blocks and make it 3 blocks high in total. So basically you want to take your leaf blocks and run them underneath your slime blocks like this, and then behind it as well too. You're going to fill in this gap here, which is on the end, and then you're going to place them above it as well. Then what you're going to do is you're just going to run your leaf blocks all the way down, and then just fill this whole area in here like this. And when you are done, this is what you should have. Now what you need to do is mirror that on the opposite side. Now the easiest way to do that would be to turn the lights on this side, so everything lights up there, and then send your flying machine over. And then do the same thing, starting from this side back here, encase everything all in. So go underneath it, and then fill in this whole backside, making it at least 2 blocks deep, so that way nothing can squeak through. Once both sides are done, this is what they should look like, so they should mirror each other. And then your machine should just kind of squeak in between, and then down and onto this side here. Now you just need to repeat that for any other floors that you do, and we'll move on to the next step. Woohoo! baby. Okay, and once you're all done your 3 platforms, you have your flying machines in place with your leaf blocks as well too. What you're going to do is for all 3 levels here, you want to find, so this is the long side, the 22 block side, find the 2 center blocks, so that'll be 10 and then 11 and 12 will be the center blocks. And what you're going to do is you're going to remove these across the middle of the entire farm and do that for all 3 layers here, okay? This is going to be the chute in which our mobs are going to fall down and then end up in our little collection, you know, kill chamber thingamabobber. Once you have everything carved out here, your next step is to give this some walls. Now this can either be on the outside if you do want more spawning platforms, or you can do it on the inside like this. That way you can avoid, you know, having to place any blocks in the center spot here. The glass will just kind of slide back and forwards through that opening, and it requires less resources. Or like I said, you can do it on the outside here. Does require more resources, but you do get those, you know, edge spawning platforms here. So completely up to you, whatever build you want to do. All right, and once you are all done, you should have this masterpiece here so far. Should just be 3 identical layers where the sides mirror each other. You don't have to worry about mobs or anything falling down on you because we haven't activated these switches yet, and there is no trap doors here, so no mobs should want to pathfind back and forwards and then end up on your head. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to head down and we're going to start to build the, you know, the killing chamber and then work our way up into the, you know, the collection pits and everything else. Now, take in mind, okay, this may look complicated, but you have to remember, you're going to have the pillars for you to use as like stair systems to get up and down. So there was 4 pillars that were attached here, just like these, okay, and they were directly under the crossroads, but I removed them for the video so we could have better access and better viewing. But just remember, you're going to have these pillars here, which you can carve out staircases in the center if you want, and then work your way back down to the bottom and up and down. So don't worry about that. Even if you look at my other witch farm video, you'll see the 4 pillars are there the entire build, so you can use them as your access points to get up and down, or just bring a whole bunch of scaffolding along with you, okay? But first, before we head down and establish everything, either use the pillars like I said, or set yourself up some scaffolding, okay? And what you're going to do is, from this outside wall here, what you want to do is you want to build down 6 blocks. So, you know, you can see we're right below it. So go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on the 6th block, we're going to place down some netherrack. We're going to make it 2 wide, which is the same width as that gap there. And then what you're going to do is just jump up on top of it, and you're going to make a 2 wide platform all the way across to the other end of the farm over there. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to find the center 2 blocks of this platform, okay? So it should be a 9 block gap in between each, you know, side wall here. So find the center 2 platforms, and what you're going to do is you're going to remove those, but you are also going to take the coordinates of them as well too. So you can see we're looking at 889 and 880, and then as well as 888 and 879. Now you want to just take those coordinates and just transfer them down anywhere on the ground below you, so that way we can start to, you know, build our way up and end up where we need to be. Okay, once you have your center blocks marked out, what you're going to do is bring these walls all the way down here on either end. But you want to leave a gap on the 2nd block up. Okay, you can make this out of glass or you can make it out of solid blocks. It does not matter. Then what you're going to do is on the side here, you're going to run a row of blocks all the way down. You're going to do that on both sides. Once you have that done, you're going to do the same thing on this 2nd layer here that is above the gap. So bring another layer all the way across. And then do another one here up on the surface as well too, or just below the lowest platform anyways. And when you are done, this is what you should have so far. Now, the reason why we have these gaps here is we are going to be placing our dogs on little platforms here like this. Or if you want, Okay, I just thought about this while putting this all together. You could even build a second flying machine that goes back and forwards and will sweep all of your mobs down this little center chute here, okay? But next what we are going to do is, I kind of came back and skipped over a little bit. Okay, but once you have this all done and you're filled in, what you're going to do is, you can already see I have this built down here, but that's kind of because I skipped ahead because what I did didn't make any sense. But what you want to do is take the coordinates of this platform here that you carved out in the center. Okay, so we're in the center of the platform. There should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blocks on each side before we get to the walls. What you're going to do is just mark down what these coordinates are, like we said, 889 and 880, and then transfer them down right below us down here onto the ground, and then we will move on to the next step, which is building that right there, okay? So, see you in a second. All right, once you have your blocks transferred to the ground below it, okay, so you can see we are directly below where we need to be. What you're going to do is, on top of those blocks, you're just going to place a 3x3 platform like this. And then off of any end, it doesn't really matter which end you do it off of. I would suggest doing it off of one of the long sides though. What you're going to do is you're going to place down 3 blocks in a little triangle, leaving an opening. And then in that opening, what you're going to do is you're going to place down your first hopper. You're going to remove the temporary block in front of it, place another one, and then do the same thing behind it with your hopper facing down. Okay, so just to go over that again really quickly, all we're doing is we're taking the coordinates of that square up there that we carved out, which is in the center of that platform. We transferred it onto the ground down here, built a 3x3 box on top of it, built an offset, and then placed our hopper in the center of that offset. Next, what you're going to do is, on either side of the hopper here, you're going to place down 2 pieces of obsidian. Then you're going to place a slab on top of the hopper in the middle of the obsidian. And then you're going to build your ring of slabs all the way around it. And then your next step is to just build a chute all the way around this until you get up near the top there. And then we can start to build the little scare area. Okay, once you have built yourself up and you are within 4 blocks of this platform that we just put together here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So what you're actually going to do is build down 3 blocks, and then on the 4th one down here, this is where you're going to place your nether rack, and then build yourself a little platform to catch anybody that does end up falling down this chute here. And when you are done, this is what you should have. So you should have that same 3x3 platform that we built over top of the, indicators there up here in the sky. It should be dead level with the corners of this farm. So anybody that does fall down here will fall down on this platform. Next, what you're going to do is put some walls down on the side, so that way nothing can obviously get out. As you can see, this is a 2x2 drop and a 3x3 platform. That is no problem whatsoever. Okay, next what you're going to do is you're going to utilize scaffolding for this point. And what you're going to do is you're going to build yourself a little box off of the back side. Okay, so there's our 3x3 platform. It just needs to be 2 blocks deep. So that's what it looks like. And in front, you're going to place down 3 trap doors like this. And then this is where you are going to drop your dog or your wolf in place. One of the easiest ways to do this is to make it your dog. Jump up here, he will teleport up here with you, then you can just use a simple minecart to shuffle him up there. Once he's in place with the minecart, he will still scare the wither skeletons, and you can just leave him there and he will never despawn or try to teleport with you. And once he's in place, as you can see, all we are going to do is finish off the walls on this build. We're going to bring the chute up all the way to the top, so that way we can, have the dog scare all of the wither skeletons as they come down. And once we have everything closed in and we have our dog in place, what we are going to do is on this block here, one up from the netherrack, you're going to place down a trap door, and then another one as well up there too. And what's going to happen is as the wither skeletons fall down here, by the way, remove any of these blocks, they're going to fall down here, get scared by this wolf down into this pit, and then end up down in your kill chamber for you. Okay, next what you're going to do is you're going to remove these blocks, these temporary blocks that were in the center. You're going to place down 2 trap doors on either side, so that way they can close down and the mobs will think that those are full blocks. Then what we're going to do is take our signs, and on this gap here where we left on our wall, so that is going to be 3 down below our platform, we're going to place a row of signs, and we're going to do that all the way across to the other side. This is why we had to bring so many signs along with us. Okay, once you have all of your signs in place, that is what they should look like there. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to take 3 lava sources, and you're going to place one on this corner, you're going to place one on the other corner, and then wherever those don't meet in the center here, you're just going to place another lava source and it should fill in the rest. Now, the reason that this is here, or why we have this here, is the mobs that fall off of the 3rd platform up above. What's going to happen is that they're going to fall down here and end up taking fall damage. So if we try to, mess with the lava in the chute here, it just kind of messes up and you end up with a hard time having your little AFK session, or if you want to just do it with your looting 3. Because what you end up having is the guys from the 3rd layer will end up falling down here, taking fall damage, more fall damage than the other 2 layers. You're going to adjust the lava here and the pit for the lower 2 layers. The 3rd guys are going to fall and just die when they hit the ground, which is not what we want at all. So we're just going to avoid that. Okay, so you can see why I was saying this is a little bit tricky to build, but all it is 3 platforms, okay, with a lava catch down to a single chute, which you can either use dogs or a sweeper to get them down this hole. I'm going to use dogs. Whoever ends up down this hole, which should only be wither skeletons because everybody else should die off up here, will get scared by the single dog and down this chute in order for you to kill him. If you do not care about doing the AFK thing, all you have to do is, like I said, just build a chute all the way down here in this 2x2 section, put your lava accordingly so that way the guys don't die when they hit the ground by taking too much fall damage, and then you are done and good to go. Your final steps for this farm are just to fill this entire area here with wither roses, like I said. Same thing down here with the dog. And once you have that done, your final step is to either, like I said, sweeper system or dogs, and I'm going to use dogs, so I'm just going to build another box like I did down here, identical little box. And once you have your 2 dogs in place or your sweeper system built, you are basically done. All you have to do is just remove any scaffolding that you did put up while you were building. But once you have completed all of that, this is what your entire farm should look like. Wither roses and dogs in place, or sweeper system, like I said, does not matter to me. You should have your chute area down to here. Your final step is to basically, you just have to play around and build some scaffolding up here and do a little test. Now, if you don't want to do any tests, what I suggest you do is from the lowest block here where they land, okay, so it's going to technically be this block here, just count up 16 blocks in total. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and we're going to remove the 16th block. We're going to place a sign in there, and then we're going to place a piece of lava above it, and then close everything in. Now, in order to get wither skeletons to a 1-hit kill, you need to be about 21 blocks, I think it is, in other videos and in testing that I've done. But I just usually like to do about 16 or 18. If you do find that the guys are taking too long to die, or it is taking 2 hits to kill them, all you have to do is just remove the lava, remove your sign, and then shuffle everything up. But don't go any higher than 21, because 21 is the max fall damage for wither skeletons, apparently. Okay, but once you are done, all you have to do is just connect a chest up to it, maybe an item sorter and everything else, and to set this up for AFK, what you're going to do is just build about an 8-long runway here for your dogs and rails. Do this on both sides. This is for Java. We'll go over bedrock afterwards. Then what you're going to do is off of each side of the obsidian here, you're going to place down 3 powered rails, 3 regular rails, and then 2 more powered rails with a piece of obsidian at the end. Okay, repeat this for all 4 sides. Make sure you give the rails some power too as well. And then what you're going to do is get your minecarts, put them in place, and then what you want to do is tame 4 dogs and get all 4 dogs into these minecarts here. Okay, and once you have your 4 dogs in place, this is what the AFK section looks like. Now, the way this works, okay, this is going by an Il Mango video where he couldn't get the AFK section to work. But what he did do was he discovered that if you let the dogs see the wither skeletons, even if they're behind full blocks like this, okay, as long as you remove these blocks here, and the dogs can see the skeletons when they get back here, they will stay aggroed towards them, and when they get into this corner here, they will still bite the dogs, but because these full blocks are here, the wither skeletons will not be able to actually hit the dogs. So this is the setup for Java, AFK, okay? And for bedrock, it's even easier. Ignore the dogs on the outside, alright? But all you have to do is just set up a dog on a carpet over top of a hopper. Make sure that he is a half slab below the skeletons, just like you see there, and he will have access and be able to kill the guys. Your next and final step, now that your farm is complete, is to just start going around and, despawning everything. I would do an hour session or so of at least, going around and placing your buttons down or some lava or something, but you need to despawn this entire area in order for, your mobs to function and spawn in this section here. Last thing before we head over to the other build where I do have everything despawned, make sure you either remove, okay, or cover up everything that is a spawnable block that is around your farm. So if you have any blocks like this that are remaining and overhanging, just either cover them up or remove them altogether. Okay, but now we're going to head over to my other farm where I have everything despawned, and it's only 2 layers, but you'll get to see how everything works, and that'll be the one that is for the world download. Okay, and here we are back at the other world. Okay, this is going to be the one that is available for the world download, alright? Everything around the farm has been either taken away or despawned, so that way we get maximum efficiency out of it. And as you can see, this is just basically how the farm works. So all of your mobs, when I should be below, because that is where the non-spawning area is, but we'll start from up here. So as you can see, all of the mobs, they end up spawning up here in the platforms. They end up getting swept down and through the lava onto this platform here, where they are obviously burnt up and killed by the wither roses. I have set up rail systems here to collect any items that are dropped by these mobs. Anybody that does make it through will get sent down anyways onto this platform where they will die again as well. Items are collected, the wither skeletons get scared, fall down and through. As you can see, I have my lava here, which is 21 blocks above the fall chamber down there. When they hit the ground, it is only a 1-hit kill for the dogs, and this is how everything works. So if we just back up here for a little bit. Okay, so as you can see, all of the mobs here spawn again on the platforms. They get swept down the holes, down and onto the killing chambers. All of your wither skeletons end up getting scared, jumping down and falling down all the way to the ground, at which, like I said, they're only a 1-hit kill for the dogs. The dogs will collect your wither skulls and everything for you. Believe it or not, all you have to do is just stand down here and AFK. All of the XP, as you see, will funnel out the hole, down and on top of your head, and then you're good to go. Sorry, I got a little mono there, but whatever. So now all we have to do is just sit down here. Like I said, the farm will work as long as you are 32 blocks below the lowest platform and everything else is around you is despawned. And yeah, it's a pretty good little farm. So I'll leave this here for you guys to enjoy as the world download. That is the farm right there in all of its glory. You don't have to worry about these guys too much because apparently they don't take up the mob cap anyways, and all they do is float on top of this lava until they do disappear or despawn. So that's the farm there, you guys. I know this one is only 2 layers, but it doesn't matter. It's all the same concept. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry the other one wasn't good enough for you guys, but maybe this one's a little bit better. Like I said, this is heavily influenced by Nembone and Ilmango both. So, send those boys some love, and I'll definitely catch you guys on the next one. Peace.